Down one. Down two. What's going on, everybody, guys? Welcome to the channel. Thank you guys for being here. I might have fooled you guys with the first clip. This is not a montage. This is my personal class setup. A lot of people from Twitch chat have asked me, Pookie, what kind of sniper do you like? The HDR, AX50. Dragunov is trash. Sorry. Well, in this video, we're gonna tell you guys. So I'm gonna get one thing straight. I do need 2 loadout drops. I need 2. Reason being is for the first loadout drop, I get both my guns. I rock overkill. You guys might see I'm using the Grau right now. That can change. That can change. But yeah, so I do need 2. I know that might scare some of you guys, but it's not that bad. You guys should be buying a loadout drop within the first 2 minutes, depending on where you drop and if there's a lot of people around. But you get your loadout drop relatively quick. If you don't make it to it, guess what? Start over. Get a new game. But anyways, yeah, you do need 2. So we're gonna start from bottom to top, and we'll just go in that order. So tactical, we are gonna rock the heartbeat sensor, guys. A lot of people are like me. They don't like having to get 2 loadout drops for both their guns. They rock it straight off the bat. You need Ghost to not be on this, so it's helpful. Second, lethal. I do rock C4. Throw it at helicopters. Throw it at cars. People like to run people over. They're assholes. So yeah, C4 is your best bet. Now you can use Claymore. Claymores do work. They're a little bit more. They're harder to hit. They are harder to hit. You can do it. It's really not too difficult, but it's just a little bit more difficult. Another perk to the Claymore is you can put it up in a building if you are trying to just camp. You can do that. That's viable. You get a sound noise when someone's coming, or potentially kill them or knock them. For the perks, guys, again, remember this is for a double loadout box to have Ghost. Cold-blooded, overkill, and amped. Reason for amped is faster weapon swap. You can change this for tracker if the slower sniper swap is okay for you. For me, it's not. I need it. And then our second loadout, we're going to change overkill for Ghost. You already have your guns, you can just pick them up. So just swap out overkill for Ghost on your second class. Okay, so here's the part where everybody wants to know. This, again, like I said, is trash. 99% of you will agree with me. 1% of you don't. Well, guess what? You're psychos. Don't use this. So HDR AX50. This is the question that gets asked a lot. So AX50 has a faster scope in speed than the HDR. Hands down, can't argue it. Okay. So I would use the AX50 in multiplayer. I would never use it in Warzone. Reason being is HDR with the slightly slower ADS speed has faster bullet speed, less bullet drop, and that makes, like, in the montages you guys see, like, I hit like 500-meter snipes or car snipes or helicopter snipes. Faster bullet speed and less drop means the bullet gets there quicker. It's less that I have to lead the target. Less is better. Okay. I barely ever have to aim above the head with this class. You guys can see it unless I'm doing like an 800-meter shot. So HDR, hands down, for Warzone. You can use it in multiplayer as well. Just know that the AX50 pulls up quicker if you're trying to be a quick scoper. Other than that, AX50 is slower, bullet speed slower, bullet speed drop is ridiculous. Even with the barrel, the HDR is the exact same without the barrel. So keep that in mind. Okay. So for our attachments, we're going to show you guys. Mind you, this is my personal preference. Keep that in mind. Muzzle, monolithic suppressor for everything. I'm sorry, it's not going to change. Okay, barrel HDR Pro. It's the biggest barrel that you can put on it. It's the best one for you. Okay, some people are going to look at this and they're going to be like, what the fuck, why? You're showing you where you are when you aim in. Guess what? They can see you anyway. I don't know whose bright idea it was to put glints that's this noticeable in any game in, because they're dumb. Glint can be seen from miles away. So if you're only when you're scoping in though. So if you're scoping in and they can see you, why not add a little bit more accuracy? It just helps with accuracy. It helps with bullet drop just a little bit, slightly. It's not going to be noticeable, but it is there. Another thing is stock or scout, just because, like I said, the HDR does take a little bit to pull up, so we're gonna help that out some. This can be changed. If you would change it to anything, I'd probably change it to the champion, just for walking and strafing and sniping. Makes it a little bit easier. Okay, this one I'm on the fence about. I change this a lot. Okay, FMJ, if you're trying to go for collats or anything like that, FMJ is the way to go. I actually just got a clip today about a collat that I had. It was pretty good, so I might put it in a montage. Things you can change this out for: sleight of hand is a good choice. Fully loaded is a great choice if like you just come back and you need it fast. Guess what? You already have ammo. Focus is another one. If you're being shot at, I rock this one sometimes. I'm not gonna say I rock it a lot, but sometimes. Presence of mind you don't need to hold your breath for 20 seconds ever. So just don't do it. Don't get that. So you can change that out. Some of you guys might be like, oh, no optic. You really don't need it. You really don't need it. For those of you that are newer, you guys can go with the thermal scope. I would just recommend this one. I wouldn't do the dual power, just because dual power doesn't change the zeroing of the sniper. Okay. For those of you that don't know what it means, this has two modes. It has the 5.0 and the 12.1. Okay, so it's zeroed at for the 5.0. So if you're really close and you're aiming right on the head, guess what? It's gonna headshot. But if you go to that 12.1 scope, you're gonna have to aim up a little bit at farther range. You can see the bullet drop more. So you do have to know the difference between the 5.0 and the 12.1, where that bullet's gonna go. So you do have to adjust accordingly, and that's the same thing with the variable zoom. You just have to adjust. I would recommend, if you're gonna change the scope, only go with the thermal scope, just the normal one. If you can't see, if you can see and you can like acquire your targets perfectly, and you know exactly where they are, and you don't need this, don't put a scope on. Just don't. This scope's fine. It's got notches in it that tell you exactly where you're aiming and where your bullet drop should be. So yeah, you don't need ammunition. You don't really need a bipod. Ammunition, if you need more than 5 shots to kill one enemy, your goal is to kill one. If you're playing trios or quads or whatever, solos is even better. You're only trying to kill one enemy, so you don't need more rounds. If you kill one enemy, you just gave your team the biggest advantage there is. Yeah, that's my class setup. This is the exact same thing I would probably rock on the AX50. I don't really use it that much just because HDR is just better. Why not use it? But yeah, this is it, guys. Just remember, don't let this scare you because they can see your glint anyway. Alright, so that being said, let's back out. Let's go into the assault rifles. The assault rifles is a class that's highly debatable because there's so many. King, what's up, man? We're recording a video right now. Sorry, man, I'll get right with you. So there's 3 guns that everybody uses. The M4A1 is a good one. I used it for a while. We'll talk about them a little bit more later on, but another one is the M13, another viable gun that I use, and then the Grau. Okay, so we're gonna go. I'm using the Grau right now, so we'll go do that one last. The M4A1 is a medium to long range, a little bit less on the short range. You can lose your gunfights very easily. This gun is a laser. By that means it shoots really fast, but the bullets are a little bit lacking in the punch. So you do have to hit headshots. So if you're not the best at aiming, you don't use the M4 because you do have to hit headshots with this to kill fast. In Warzone, this is in Warzone, by the way, guys, not multiplayer. Warzone. Only thing that I can tell you on the M4, always go with the 60 round mag. Go to gunsmith, change that. Go with the 60 round mag all the time. Bam. Just take this off because I don't use that. So 60 round mag, commando foregrip always, and the grenadier. The grenadier barrel is the best that there is on the game. We need to take this off real quick. I can just press R to just. I rock all my guns with the monolithic suppressor, all of them. This doesn't change. This doesn't change. So you guys might look at the hybrid and be like, why? Why the hybrid? Well, close range, it's easier to see your targets when you're close range. It's easier to control the bounce of the red dot. I would never use this at medium to long range. Well, I would never use the red dot version of this at medium to long range just because that red dot bounces too much. Close range is where it's at. I do like the ACOG version. When I say version, I mean modes, because it'll flip down. You guys can see it in some of the videos. It'll flip down. So when I say version, just know I mean mode. The ACOG, it's got an open view. A lot of people argue, well, you don't really need a scope. I like scopes because it gets your face above the gun. When you don't have a scope, the gun's straight down your face, and that's what you can see. So if someone's laying down or peeking or whatever, you can't really see that. But with a scope, you get the full picture, and you can adjust and shoot where you need, and you can see perfectly. So I wouldn't recommend not using the scope. If you can get away with it, cool. I can't do it. That's why this is my personal opinion. And this doesn't change for any of the guns, guys. This doesn't change. Only thing that changes is the barrel. The barrel for go to the next gun. M13, guys. Another good gun. This is also another laser. There's slight recoil on this one compared to the M4. M4, you could pretty much just sit there and hold it steady and shoot, and it's gonna go where you're. It's not gonna bounce too much on you. This one has slight more. The only thing that we're changing on this is the barrel. It goes to the marksman instead of the grenadier. It's the marksman. Everything else is the exact same, guys. The bullet recoil for this is down and to the left slightly. There's a little bit more, but not much more. And it is also a laser. It does pack a little bit more punch, so you can get away with putting like 5 to the chest or whatever. But it's not that bad. Okay, so let's get down to the last gun. The very last gun is the Grau, 5.56. This gun has more punch than the other two. Okay, it's gonna take less bullets, but downside, it actually bounces more. And I actually just took off my loadout from it, so it's okay. You guys can see me build it from bottom up. Okay, so like I said, monolithic compressor all the time. Second, Archangel, guys, must. Archangel is the best barrel for this gun. Ammunition, always go with the 60 round mags. Reason being is you want to be able to spray transfer from one guy to the other, or you might need 60 rounds to kill one person. If you're that guy, I feel bad for you. I have those days too. Underbarrel, commando foregrip, always, every gun. Like I said, this doesn't change. The only thing that changes is this barrel. Optic, if you guys don't like the hybrid, I love the hybrid. I always go for it. We'll put it on. The mini reflex is okay. Do not use the combat. Combat, not good. You guys might be able to use the GI mini reflex or the Viper. That's another one if you guys like the red dots. I don't have this. I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it. The holographic sight, it's pretty decent. Not gonna lie. There's also the thermal sight. I don't think I have it unlocked, but the thermal sight on it, I think it's good, but it's also bad. If they have ghost or cold-blooded, I mean, not ghost, cold-blooded. If they have cold-blooded, you're not gonna be able to see them. You won't be able to. You'll see them if they're in the open, but if they're in a dark place or there's a bunch of lines going through it, like they're standing behind something, you're not gonna be able to see them that well. So I wouldn't recommend. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be about it. Tell me, guys, what you think down in the comments. If you disagree with some of what I said, give me a reason why and what attachment you would put there. Don't just be like, that sucks. That gun's gonna be trash. Give me a reason why. You know what I mean? Try to change my mind. If you guys can change my mind about something, guess what? I'll pin it. If you guys can prove that it's better or that it would work. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for being here. That is my full class setup. If it changes, I'll upload another video. If it doesn't, then this is what I'm rocking. Just know all videos will have this. By the way, guys, we did recently just get this gold, so if you guys see some montages coming up with it, yeah, you know we put in some work. Anyways, guys, that's it. Peace.